Welcome to the Wonder Boldly podcast, hosted by yours truly, Christine, founder of Drizzle Academy. I am going to encourage and motivate you to take action towards your big goals. I'm going to teach you everything I've learned from building a very successful 25-year career, coaching people, and starting my own online business. I am going to give you so many action items you are going to be able to wonder boldly. Hey. Welcome back to another episode of Wonder Boldly. I'm so glad you're here. Today's episode is all about a sneak peek into my GSR program, Goals, Strategies, and Routines. I can tell you right now that what you'll learn in this program will give you a completely new perspective and transform how you approach your goals. So let's dive right in. The first module is titled You, Your Goals, and Action Steps. Now I'm going to be upfront. I know myself, and I continue to refine and improve this program. So I don't doubt that that title may change. We shall see. In the first module, you are going to learn about the commitment that you have to make to yourself before you can even begin setting out to reach your goals. We're going to talk about the foundation. You need your goals to have a foundation. We're going to talk about setting your goals clearly so that you can make progress. And we're also going to talk about how to measure that progress. So first and foremost, before we get into all of that good stuff, you're going to need to commit to yourself. So I'm not just talking about looking in the mirror and saying, I commit to myself, this is something I'm doing for myself, and I need to do that, and boom, okay, Christine, I have now committed to myself. That's all great. I totally believe in that. Put up signs, commit to yourself, talk positively to yourself in the mirror. I'm all for it. In addition to that, I need you to take some action steps, and I'm going to walk you through those right now on this episode. Now, because we're not working together, I'm not going to be able to go really deep into them, but I'm going to give you enough here, and you can then, after you listen to this episode, you can go to my website, sign up for my email list, and all the subscribers of my email list are getting these materials, worksheets, documents that you can use to apply this strategy for yourself. Or you can simply get out your paper and pen now. If you're not driving, you're in a place to do that, and just take notes, and you can do that straight from your own workspace. The first thing I want you to do is write down your goal. Just today and time, pick a goal and write it down. We're going to get to that a little later on, very high level here, but in the program we get to really how you need to write your goal, how to break it down, and so forth. But just for this exercise, I want you to have it in front of you. So go ahead and write your goal down. Now, the next thing, and put it aside. Go ahead, put that goal aside, just slide that paper on over. I just want you to have that written down so it's kind of in the forefront of your mind as we move forward. Now, the next things are breaking down how you're going to commit to yourself, because as I mentioned, there's action steps. So answer these questions. Write down on a piece of paper, again, or you could go to my website and get these worksheets. The first question is, the first 20 minutes after waking up, how do you feel? Do you feel energized? Do you feel sluggish, creative, motivated, tired, relaxed? How would you describe yourself the first 20 minutes? And just write that down. Now, the reason I say that is because for most of us, when we first wake up, that first 20 minutes, we're not feeling like, yoo-hoo, I'm going to attack the day and I'm energized and yeah, let's get going. that first 20 minutes is usually iffy. You know, you kind of talk to yourself, am I going to get out of bed? You might do the famous Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump out of bed. I have used that many times myself. So those are kind of iffy, and I just want to separate those out from the rest of the time, because that is almost, I'm going to say, an opt-out. Like, I don't want you to think, oh, I'm tired when I wake up, and then that's going to set your morning. I want you to acknowledge it, yep, and then move past it. So that's that 20 minutes. A tip maybe that might work for you. So the Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, obviously get up. What I do to kind of wake myself up is I brush my teeth. For me, I wash my face, brush my teeth. That really just gets me going. Like, not even like coffee. Drinking water is also a really well-known thing to be really good for your whole body and your system, to drink a glass of water. But my go-to is always brush my teeth, and then I'm ready to go. You do you. Okay, next. How do you feel in the morning? So past that 20 minutes, remember. Okay, how do you feel in the morning? What is the morning like for you? Again, thinking of those adjectives, your own words, whatever, just one word, couple of words. This is a quick, easy thing. The next, how do you feel in the early afternoon? The next, in the late afternoon, and then the evening. So you're savvy. You know what we're doing here. We're really establishing what segments of the day do you feel most energized, creative, and then what segments of the day do you feel sluggish and tired? You get it. You know what we're doing here. But write it down and then put that aside as well. Look at it, and you're probably not going to be surprised, right? If you don't know, do it tomorrow, the next time, tomorrow morning when you wake up, and the next time you have an opportunity, was what I was going to say, and do this exercise, okay? Most of us pretty much know, but you can try it and do it like real time and see what your answers are. The next thing I want you to do is, on another piece of paper, separate, is write down everything that you do on a typical day. I really mean everything, but I don't mean brush my teeth, wash my face, take a shower. I don't necessarily mean those things, but I do mean if on a typical day you spend an hour getting dressed, putting on makeup, taking a shower, like if it's a whole process, definitely I would write that down. Also, the walking of the dog, the taking the kids to school or daycare or whatever the situation is, all the things that you do, going to your 9 to 5, reading, you get the idea. Okay, now that you have that list in front of you currently, today and time, before you make any changes, write down the adjective that you wrote above, how you feel when you're doing those things. I'm just going to give an example. So in the evening, I'm reading. How do I feel then? Relaxed. In the evening after my 9 to 5, how do I feel? Sluggish. So with all those things that you do on a typical day, write down the adjectives on how you feel during that time. Now sit with that for a minute, look at it, think about it. Do you have it, well written out, and do you feel like it's true? And you're going to need to really open your mind to this thought, because now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. All that stuff is the stuff that you knew, and I'm just asking that you write it down. Now I want you to take a different approach. You're going to have to really open up your mind to this thought. So when you're ready, it might not be at this time of the recording, but when you're ready, I want you to write down on another piece of paper or the worksheet that I provide. When I feel creative, I can do what? For example, when I feel creative, that is prime time for me to work on my painting, on my photography, on my lesson plans. Whatever it is that you said that you do every day, okay, so it has to apply to that list that you talk about that you do every day. Okay, so this is not something new, it's just a different way of looking at it, okay? So I'm going to give you a very good example, and that is in the morning. I personally am very energized in the morning. I'm motivated, I'm energized, motivated, and feel really creative in the morning early morning, early afternoon. Now, currently on my list of what I do every day, how I typically feel when I'm doing it is every day I have to do the dishes. And when I do the dishes, I'm feeling energized, motivated, and creative because I do them currently in the morning. Well, not currently, that's not true. Doing this process on myself. The idea here is to look at these lists and then ask yourself for that activity. So using my example, for the activity of doing the dishes, how do I need to feel? Do I need to be creative? Do I need to be motivated? Do I need to be energized? For me, not really. I mean, I can just really stand there and do the dishes when I'm tired, when I'm exhausted. But changing up my routine, I didn't want to do them. I was tired at night. So after dinner, my example is the dinner dishes. I'm very fortunate. My husband does a lot of the cooking, and I'm very fortunate. I realize that. And I do the dishes. After dinner, after a long day, I also know I have other things to do. I used to leave the dishes until the morning. And I realized that I'm using valuable time to do the dishes. I don't need to be creative and motivated, but doing the dishes takes up, say, a half an hour of my time, and that's a half an hour time I lost of really, for me, valuable time when I was feeling creative, motivated, and energized, where I could be doing my exercises, working on my lesson plans, working on the business, etc. So, because of this type of exercise, I switched it and I said, you know what? I'm no longer going to waste that valuable time on dishes. I'm going to do the dishes at night when I'm tired. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy every day, for sure. But switching it around, making myself do the dishes at night, so when I get up in the morning, the kitchen is clean, which is so good. For those of you that already do this, yay you, because it's so nice to wake up to a clean kitchen. Oh my gosh. So I have really looked at, and am teaching this in my program, how you spend your time and the things that you do every day. What type of energy level do you need to do those? And then rearranging your schedule to make that happen. And we can even apply this to really extreme cases. Now, these are examples. People I know have done this. I personally have not, I'm fishing my brain, have not done this exact thing. I've kind of modified my schedule. But you could look at, okay, I have a 9-to-5 job. And perhaps if you're fortunate enough, you're in a situation where you have a little bit of flexibility in your hours and you know you're really energized in the morning, but you could start work, instead of starting work at 7, say maybe you work 7 to 3:30, maybe you work 8 to 4:30, maybe you work 9 to 5:30, you get the point. And if you have some flexibility and the ability to talk to your boss and ask if you can come in an hour later, maybe you go into work at 9 instead of 8. So you have that extra hour at the beginning of your day, because that's when you're motivated and energized to focus on your goal, whatever that is. If that's spending more time at the gym, or that's spending more time exercising outside, exercising at home, or your goal is your business, spending more time on your business, looking really at that time and your energy level and considering making some shifts. Now again, as I said early on, this doesn't happen overnight. You have to try things. It's not easy. Just my simple little example about the dishes. I still hate to do the dishes at night. But I have applied this strategy. I've made it a habit and a routine now, so that I am committed to myself, because I'm committed to my business goal and I want that time in the morning. So I do those dishes at night. So it definitely takes time. The reward of having a clean kitchen in the morning is awesome. And then we also need to realize that the best laid plans, right? So you have to have a backup. And I do get into all kinds of strategies and routines and habits in my program, and I dive really deep into that. So in my program, I talk about taking these approaches and applying strategies to them, making them habit and part of your routine. And then when things fall short, life happens. We all know things come up. It could be as simple as oversleeping. It could be something significant happens, maybe at your 9 to 5, which now is requiring you to work later. What is your plan B? What is your plan C? In my industry, I work in software development. I have a phenomenal job. I'm very fortunate. This methodology and process is called risk mitigation. So I call it, for personal purposes in my life, I call it plan A, plan B, plan C. You can call it whatever you like, but you have to have those because things always come up. And if you don't have those, then you get off track really fast, really easy. All right. That brings us to the end of today's episode. That is just a sneak peek into my GSR program. Again, GSR stands for Goals, Strategies, and Routines. And my program is going to teach you how to lay the foundation, really articulate your goals, and then move forward with strategies and routines to make considerable progress on your goals. We all know we have good intentions. Every day we wake up and we say, okay, today's the day. Today's the day. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, whatever it is. And then things come up and it doesn't happen. And the next day, today's the day, and it doesn't happen. And then all this time passes and we're like, oh my gosh, where did the week go? Where did the month go? So you need to really prepare. And that's what my program's all about, preparing. Think of it like when you're going to paint a room, the biggest thing you need to do is prep that room, right? And that's really the thing that people hate to do. I know, I hate to do that. I'll just wing it. I won't tape around the windows. I won't tape around the doorknobs. I'll just do my best. But then inevitably, there's paint all over the place. There's paint on the floor, on the doorknobs, and I'm spending so much time cleaning it up. It's kind of similar in this regard where you really have to prepare yourself and your goals so you can make progress. Okay, I hope this helped. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, you can go to my website and get those worksheets, sign up for my email list, and I will send those to you. Thank you again for listening, and I will be back here soon with more action steps so you can wonder boldly. That's it for this episode. Thank you again so much for listening. Please head over to Instagram to follow me there at Drizzle Academy. And if you want more of these types of strategies and so much more around reaching your goals, you definitely want to get on my email list. You can go to my website, drizzleacademy.com, and sign up there. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did and want to share it, take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram. I'd love to connect with you. Until next time, continue to wonder boldly.